here we have our product, and what we can see is that we have some perspective on the shot. If I was to add the grid in, perhaps even pull over a guide from the sides, we can see that, you know, we've got a bit more work, we've got a bit of work to do, and we can do this in Photoshop using transform tools. In fact, if I just see clearer there, can't even take the grid off. Sometimes it's useful to have the grid, other times guides are good enough. I want to keep that safe, so I'm going to go to duplicate layer up here on the top. Oh, there it is, and I'm going to call it transform layer. Okay, here it is. I would like to do some work to this now, so I'm going to go to my edit, drop down transform. I personally quite like to use distort as opposed to perspective in terms of correcting angles. You move one thing and it moves other things for you, whereas I like to move individual corners myself. By clicking on distort, I've got these points now on the outside edge of my frame. And each one of these points I can then move, and that will be affecting the shape of my product. So the reason why I've taken the grid off is just to help us visually see a little bit easier what we're doing. So we can see down here, look at the bottom, this product is definitely wider at the top, it's sloping out on the right hand side. So I want to align these sides perfectly. So I'm going to start off by going to this bottom right corner. I'm going to start pulling it out. Now you notice the shape of the product changing. One thing when doing this is to make sure you're not moving the point up or down, because in doing so you will be stretching or shortening your product in different ways, which you might not want to do. So I'm going to keep going, keep stretching my bottom corners out. Try and balance up the changes that you're making on both sides of a product. Try not to just do it on one. It just sometimes helps visually keep the product feeling as it should do. Now my bottom two sides are looking pretty good. That side is fairly straight anyway. I can see here my top right needs to come in a bit. So I'm going to go to my top right corner and I'm going to get that point, and I'm just going to sneak it over a little bit. Now that's actually come over that line, so I'm going to go back to my top left, pull that in a bit. Now that bottom right hand corner just needs a little tweak. So, you know, you can do this to your heart's content. That is looking pretty good to me. I'm going to hit return, and let's have a look at the effect. If I take my guide off here, go to my eye, click off my top transform layer. That was how my product looked, with some perspective and some lens distortion on the right hand side there. And if I click it back on, that is now a straight product. And just to check, let's bring our guides back in. Yep, happy with that.